supposed to have an election. We're hours away, and then next thing you know, it's canceled. Not a lot of information, so a lot of people were angry.
The decision led to a 2-day protest staged outside the Mohawk Council of Kanehsatake.
This one was also put out by Graham Drew.
Kane Montour is the coordinator for the Kanehsatake perimeter security.
It's kind of sad because there was elders here, there were some children here, and we got to lead by example, do better. And what I witnessed that day was just disrespectful, shameful, and something like that shouldn't happen.
With no election, the mandates for all 5 councillors have been extended, as instructed by Chief Electoral Officer Graham Drew.
The election has become unworkable because of the flaws in the electoral code. And rather than create all kinds of more problems to do with appeals and inappropriate, in this case, individuals that shouldn't be on the ballot, all kinds of things which I can go through. But it just didn't make sense to proceed any further with the election.
Drew is referring to 3 individuals on the ballots that he says have criminal records. Former Grand Chief Victor Bonspiel says he flagged this issue to Drew ahead of the election.
And I had brought this up at my nomination when I brought my papers into him. I said, "Are you going to be doing background checks?" And he said, "No." He said, "I won't do that unless a candidate or a member requests that another candidate be given a background check."
Drew says no criminal record was required in order to submit an application form to run. He says candidates are required to disclose they have no prior criminal record by signing a nomination form, which says they do not have a criminal record. He says a community member can prove a candidate has a criminal conviction 48 hours after he posts the candidates. Another red flag for the CEO was the assembly of an appeals board.
We had a very difficult time recruiting anyone that would be willing to sit on the board because of fear of retaliation or just not wanting to get involved in the dynamics of a kind of a toxic environment for leadership right now.
The appeals board requires a team of 3 individuals who must abstain from voting during the general election. In the event of a tie, the appeals board members' votes would determine the winner.
It's not democratic, so they're basically what they would be doing is voting over all of the electorate.
Some say the code must be revised, including Chief Brant APTN.
It is actually missing critical components, and that is what makes it so difficult to work with.
But others are wondering why this wasn't done earlier, including Amanda Simon, who is running for chief.
They had 4 years to reform the code if that was a priority within their mandate. Why did they not do that in the 4 years?
Etienne says if the code is not adjusted before another election, the nomination form could be fraudulently signed again.
The submission of a criminal record for a candidate is voluntary, so thus they're able to fraudulently sign the nomination forms and get onto council. So until it's fixed, until there actually is concrete guidance on something like that, I think we're going to keep running into this problem, especially now that it's known.
Simon has requested the involvement of Minister of Indigenous Services Mandy Galmasti and Minister of Crown Indigenous Relations Rebecca Alty.
The intervention that I'm requesting is to launch an investigation into the conduct of the Chief Electoral Officer and any interference by sitting council members.
In response to a request for comment, both federal departments says Kanehsatake follows a custom electoral code and not the Indian Act, so they have no jurisdiction. The council, whose mandate has been extended, says it needs to determine how to move forward.
There's a lot of different factors to consider, and we're going to be meeting on that shortly.
While the focus is on the election, Montour is hoping for an end to fighting within the community.
There's a lot of intergenerational trauma that's being carried on, and people, we're starting to see the effects of that, and I really wish that we can just really get back to being happy and and start seeing the better things of Kanehsatake instead of always being portrayed as negative.
Savannah Craig, APTN National News, Kanehsatake, Mohawk Territory.